What's going on, everybody? This is b-rad here at Port Therapy, and we're chilling with Postman.
Yeah, we are chilling with Postman.
How you been today?
Well, I spent most of the day with you, actually.
Yeah, we were chopping wood, so I needed some extra wood because I have a wood stove in my garage, and I figured, you know what? Like, we're having Thanksgiving dinner here. If anybody wants to chill in the garage, smoke cigarettes, whatever, they can do it being warm. So me and Sean today chop down. Well, I wouldn't say chop. Cut down a tree, and I'm eventually get my truck and then stack it all behind the garage.
So what's wrong with your truck?
My brake booster went out, so technically, I don't have any brakes right now. So that's why I haven't really been using the truck. Guys, this is just something I'm just doing. I'm not being paid to advertise or anything. But if you have medications or anything, and medicine is like expensive now and whatnot, the thing that can help with that is Mark Cuban's drug thing. He made like a drug pharmacy or whatever it is, the Fight Big Pharma, blah, 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 blah. But I mean, it actually does work. You can look up your medicine. If it has it, it could save you a crap ton of money. It's called Drugs Plus. Shit, I can't even remember what it's called.
It's kind of hard to inform the people if you don't have the
Give
info.
me a second. I got it written down somewhere.
All right, well, while he does that, I'll serenade you with my voice.
Let me Google it.
So I remember I told you I got the bill in the mail for my hospital bill, my stitches, right? And it was like $400. And well, I went to go log on today just before I came here and pay it, and turns out it's actually $1,300.
See, that's how they get you.
And that they had only sent out like the emergency room bill, and then the other bill that they didn't send out, or at least I haven't gotten it yet, was the more expensive one of $800 and some dollars, and that one had the itemized everything on it. I was like, "Are you kidding me? That is like."
And see, you don't have to pay that though, do you?
Yeah, I gotta pay it.
Oh, you used to have to pay that, even like with having like veterans insurance.
I don't have that set up yet. I go the 20th to get it set up.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't even worry about paying it. They would probably back pay it.
I'm gonna pay it just to pay it.
Oh, okay. But guys, the company that Mark Cuban has made is called Cost Plus Drugs. So just go to costplusdrugs.com and see if they got your medicine. Like I said, it could save you hundreds of dollars, and I'm not being paid to say this. I just think people should know it to help them out.
And who is Mark Cuban? I feel like I've heard his name before.
So he is a billionaire. He stars on Shark Tank. He bought some type of
okay,
sports.
Yeah, I know this guy.
Yeah, but yeah, he's I think he's actually like a decent millionaire, billionaire, rich guy.
I was watching a video on Todd Howard, one of the main guys behind Bethesda.
Yeah,
and he was talking about like his career at Bethesda, and he started out on I want to say Daggerfall, 1995, Elder Scrolls Daggerfall. And it was just interesting to hear him talk about like all the processes of their game developing over the years and how it matured and so on and so forth, and how they had, and it was cool too. Like he, he ate the humble pie, and he even talked about like his bad games, like Daggerfall didn't do too good, or was it Daggerfall? No, Redguard, Elder Scrolls Redguard. I forget what.
Was that the one before Oblivion?
That was before Morrowind, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's Arena, Daggerfall, Redguard, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim.
Yeah, see, the only ones I ever played was Oblivion, Skyrim, and then I tried the Elder Scrolls Online, but I didn't really like it.
So the company, let me finish my thought first about him eating the humble pie. He talked about like the company's flops. He talked about Redguard. He talked about Fallout 76, and
I didn't like that either.
Well, it's gotten a lot of love over the years. You know, when it first came out, it was definitely it lost a lot of the inherent fan base.
Yeah.
and it put a really bitter, sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. But it has gotten significantly better over the years. It's gotten a lot of love. Um, man, I forget what I was talking about. So it's kind of it was. I didn't know this, but Bethesda actually almost went under after I want to say after Redguard. Uh, that's how much of a flop it was for them. But then they were like, okay, well, because they were at the time, he was talking about how they had, few people, a lot of projects. And then they quickly learned that that is not how to make a video game company successful. And so they're like, all right, well, let's take the team sizes that we have and just focus on one
Yeah.
project. And that's when they focused on Morrowind. And Morrowind was a huge success for them. That's where they really got their like fan base as a Bethesda company, and then followed it up by Oblivion, and it just blew all their expectations out of the water. And then they just kind of kept the ball rolling forward until 76 as such.
Okay. What did you do? Google this?
No, I just watched a video about Todd Howard.
Oh, okay. What made you click on a video about Todd Howard?
I like Bethesda as a gaming company, and I really enjoy their games. Fallout 3 in New Vegas is my number one game of all time, and so I just wanted to know more about Todd Howard, and it was
Okay.
him talking, so it was kind of cool.
I've never really been interested in learning about anybody like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been taking a lot of interest in game development here recently, which I've been taking a lot of interest in a lot of many things, different avenues, a lot of creative aspects that is what I'm interested in. One thing that I've been puzzled by lately is animation.
Okay.
Like even simple kid shows, right? Like that's a team of people that got to put that whole
Yeah.
show together, and like just the amount of money and time that goes into like drawing cartoons and stuff. Like I feel like I really take it for granted. And
Yeah.
then not
I
only
mean,
that, and I'm not a drawer. I can't draw like at all. And so maybe it's easy for someone who can draw to copy someone else's art style.
yeah.
But you got to think that's a team of animators that all have to draw exactly the same because the same character has to look the same in every scene.
Yeah.
And it's not just one person doing all that. You know,
Well, I think if you're good at freehanding, like you know what freehanding is,
yeah.
like if you're good at freehanding and whatnot, I think that would be pretty easy. Because actually, I got accused of cheating in third grade because we had a art contest and we just had to like do anything. And in third grade, I had this book and it was a picture of a dove and it was like carrying like a little branch or something. And so for like, God, it was like for a couple days, I would just sit there and just keep drawing the same picture over and over, and just like freehand it. Wasn't tracing it or nothing. I was just looking at it and just drawing it. And I did it. I probably did it like 40, 50 times. And then finally I was like, all right, this one's good enough. And then we had to turn them in. And then the teacher accused me of cheating, of tracing or whatever. And I was like, no, like I just drew it by looking at it. And the teacher was like, no, you didn't. You're lying and this and that. And
Wow, way to really kill a kid's ambition.
I know, and I got a failing grade for it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he didn't even like give me a C or anything for it because he thought I cheated. He gave me
Isn't it kind of crazy? Like we were talking about earlier, like pivotal, or well, just like the what ifs,
yeah.
about what if instead of making this choice, I made this choice. How would life turned out?
Yeah.
Like what if that was a core pivotal moment in your life where like you could have been an artist, but instead
Well,
this,
there was a good bit when I was a kid. Like I wanted to be an artist because like the Yu-Gi-Oh cards,
yeah,
I would just sit there and just draw whatever I could. Like I would usually try to find like dragons and like something with like skulls or something like that, and then I would just draw it. And I would love to know where that book went. I had a whole book of Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I drew, and I don't even know where that book went. It's probably thrown away or whatever. But yeah, I would do that. And then I think when I first started to get addicted to it's probably Diablo 2 is when I stopped drawing. So yeah.
Diablo 2, one of the
Yeah.
greatest games of all time. How dare you?
Yeah, I got addicted to that, and then Lineage, Zombies. I would go back and forth from Zombies to Lineage, Zombies to Lineage.
Yeah, a little bit of Minecraft sprinkled in throughout there.
Yeah, I remember the Minecraft days. And that's another thing. Like, if I wasn't addicted to that, I could have got on drugs easily. Because like everybody was doing that shit when we was growing up. That's what I think about too. Like I'm like, if I didn't play that, you'd probably be talking to, Meth Head Bradley.
Dude, if I didn't have video games, yeah, seriously, like I'd probably be a lot worse.
There's part of me though that like wishes I didn't spend so much time on video games.
Yeah.
I feel like, maybe I missed out on something.
I think now that you're an adult and you can realize these things, as a teenager and as a kid,
Yeah, you're just going with it.
yeah, you don't really have that realization of like, wow, my time is actually meaningful. And I don't know. I mean, I think it's fine. I think everybody needs to have a hobby like that, And not only that, but like entertainment. Oh, the mic didn't like that. Entertainment as a whole has been around since like the dawn of time. Since like humanity had its first thought.
What do you think the first entertainment was? Like back in caveman days.
It was probably dancing or like clapping. Like,
it's probably like group orgies or something.
I don't know if I would consider that as entertainment, but yeah, you broke me there for a second. I had to process what you said. But so no one feels bad for reading a book, right? So why?
I've actually gotten back into reading books, which is crazy.
I've never been a book reader.
Well, I take that back. Listening to audiobooks. I'm listening to audiobooks.
See, I can't really get into that either. I want to get into reading. So there's a TV series that I recently got into called Reacher on Amazon Prime.
I've seen it.
And it's probably my favorite show of all time. Like, I really hope they don't ruin it as the future seasons come out.
I think season 2 is supposed to get released. I'm not entirely sure. But I do like it. I like how they set everything up and how the story is.
Well, so it's based on a book. And I've been old books. And
Tom Cruise did a movie on it, didn't he?
He did the original movie on Jack Reacher. But see, the thing is, and like I said, I am not a reader. I have not read the books yet. But the thing is, why a lot of the fans didn't care for Tom Cruise as Reacher, which Tom Cruise is, he's one of the action guys, right? He's known for his action movies and he does his own stunts, yada yada. You got to have that classic Tom Cruise run in every movie. And but the problem is that he just didn't match the details of the character of Jack Reacher in the book. Jack Reacher in the book is like, from what I've been told from other people, like I said, I haven't read it myself, he's supposed to be like this really big, like 6 foot tall, muscular guy, whereas Tom Cruise is a very small, short guy.
5'9",
and he's not very buff. He's very muscular. I'm sure he probably kicked my ass up and down the street, but
he's very lean. He doesn't eat anything.
And Jack Reacher is supposed to be this big, intimidating guy. And in the movie, I remember specifically, there's a scene where he is like gets in a fight with a bunch of guys at a bar outside.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just kind of hard to believe that Tom Cruise, this small stature guy, could take all of those people in that bar fight scene.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a Tom Cruise fan.
Neither am I. So one of the things that we did in the military, or one of the aspects of my job, is driving around like distinguished visitors. They're called DVs. They usually consist of like senators or generals, sometimes president, like you name it. Every now and then there's celebrities.
Dang, you know what? I wish you still kind of did that. That way, like if you get it like a senator or something, you just like slip in my podcast flyer.
every senator I've met has been a dick, so I can't really.
Yeah, I mean, I would say out of all the senators, I only like 2 of them, and the one I don't even know. Actually, he's for North Carolina. His name's like Jim Johnson or something like that. Or that might be wrong. I don't know. I can't remember like Congress people. But he actually has a TikTok, and I like going to that because he simplifies everything. He like lets like the common person know. Um, but yeah, he's probably like one of my favorite, even though he's not in our state and whatnot.
Another type of distinguished visitor is a celebrity. They get commissioned to like come out to bases and stuff like that. Comedians will come out and put on like shows and shit like that. And where my career field was the ones that would drive them wherever they needed to go, chauffeurs basically. And I never met Tom Cruise myself, but I've met people who have met him, and they say that he is just an asshole. That he's very full of himself and only cares about himself.
Yeah.
So, in which I mean, I can believe it. Being that famous.
I mean, he is in Scientology, and I've never really took the time to look into Scientology.
Neither have I.
And the only reason I haven't is it's only like 100-year-old religion. And
so you think that newborn religions aren't as?
That's the thing. Like, I mean, you know me. I'm more like science, logical type thing. But to just make up, like I would much rather believe in older religion than I would a newer religion. Because it feels like, newer religions, they're not really anchored in anything. They're just like a power grab, basically. That's I don't know. That's just what I think.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think it's like you got prophets of multiple different religions, right? And they're like prophets are someone who like has a spiritual awakening and like is able to speak the word of God, possibly see visions from God or gods. Someone who has a deeper connection to whoever the God is, compared to like the normal person. And so, like, who's to say that John Doe down the street isn't a prophet of this religion?
All right, I got a question.
Okay.
All right, let's say hypothetically,
Okay.
we go back. What was it 2,000 years since Jesus Christ?
Brother, I don't know.
All right, like 3,000 years, whatever. And I wake up one day, I'm probably living in Egypt or something like that, somewhere over there in the Middle East. I wake up one day and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to be a prophet. Would you like go out to like the town square where people are setting up the meat markets and everything, and then like just like say like, I'm a prophet, guys. Give me your gold. Would you do that?
I think I don't think you could.
Because I mean, that's basically.
I don't think you could choose to be a prophet. I think it's chosen for you.
Okay, I get that. So like, I guess like somebody that's good or whatever, and then everybody in the community is like, you know what, this guy might be a prophet.
Yeah.
And then I bet that just goes straight to that person's head.
Well, I mean, did it go to Jesus' head?
We don't know.
That's true.
But it goes to all the popes, all the presidents, anybody that gets power. They're.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, I think it comes with the territory of like having power. It comes with a little bit of ego.
I don't know.
I don't think that you can have power and not have the ego, even like a small one, And because I mean, you look at people that have like even an ounce of fame, like a couple thousand people know who they are, and they lose their minds.
Yeah, yeah, that is true.
And versus now, instead of just a couple thousand people, it's millions of people. I just don't think that there's a world that exists where power doesn't come with ego.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a tough one.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I think you can still have power and be humble. I think that that's possible, but you're still, at the end of the day, you're still going to have a little bit of ego. You're still going to think that you're better than other people in some way or another, something like that. You're gonna realize and know that you have this massive influence over these people, and like, how do you have something like that and it not go to your head?
I don't know. If we ever get famous, then I'll definitely think about that.
If we ever get famous, I'm gonna act like I don't know you.
That's fine. But man, dude, I'm freaking mad at myself.
Why are you mad at yourself?
Because of the last 2 episodes, the audio thing is screwed up, and I might have a chance if I pay somebody to go and clean it up, but I don't know. It just, I don't know. It just makes me mad.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, mistakes are made, and you're not going to go through this without failing here and there.
Yeah, I know that.
You just got to learn from your mistakes. And I mean, I've already told you my opinion. I think you should just cut your losses with those 2 episodes and be done with it. And that's me saying it from, like, I'm in one of those videos.
Yeah, the last one.
Yeah,
we just did.
And not to like steal the limelight here, but who helped you fix the audio?
Yeah, thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
And guys, you got to remember, I have no idea what I'm doing. All this crap is new, so I'm still learning bit by bit. I'm trying to learn how to clip stuff right and do all that crap. That's all a huge headache. And then you put in, I got a full-time job, I got a family, I got kids, and then you mush all this other crap with it. It's a bit, I don't know, I wouldn't say stressful, but it's a bit like I'm trying to even out my time with everything. So I'm trying to put time for this, put time for that, do this. So just bear with us. I'll eventually get it. I've learned a lot actually. It's pretty exciting. I have been on like a whole new like when like you find something like kind of interesting and you want to learn more about it.
Yeah, just to kind of take a moment to the side real quick. I wanted to talk about this particularly.
Okay.
I found myself being interested in a lot more things than I would normally be, and taking like heavier interest in them. It's like
Yeah.
I can't just dip like a toe in. I gotta go full
Yeah.
body. And that's just my personality, but especially like creatively, because I look at the things that other people have created and I'm like, wow, like I could never have even dreamt of what you've created.
Yeah.
And it's like I hate that I've lost that spark. And because I remember when we were kids and we used to play with Legos.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
The good days.
like actually try to remember some of the shit that we made out of Legos when we were kids.
That's crazy you say something about that, because me and Carmen was talking, and I want to get Haven some Legos, but I don't know if like girls like I would think it would still be the same. Like when I was a kid, making like Lego stuff and playing with them. Like I don't know if Haven would.
Maybe next time you're at the store, take her down the toy aisle. Let's see if she finds any Lego sets that she likes.
What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna get her some for Christmas. So I just hope like she opens it and she's like, "Dad, what is this?"
try to get some Lego sets that are like in the realm of her things she's already interested in. Like,
yeah. Well, I was gonna get like I'm hoping, I've never checked, but I'm hoping like when I go to like Walmart or wherever we're gonna go, they have girl Legos.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they do.
I'm gonna see if, because I want her to use her brain more. I want her to like be imaginative, like get creative and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna try that. I was gonna say something, but I totally forgot what I was gonna say. It was right before you interrupted me.
Yeah,
And I was
I'm
like,
bad for that.
I'll remember this. And then I got on that track. But let's see, what was I saying? Yeah, just bear with me. I'm learning everything. Oh, the creative thing. Like, if you learn something. Because I have found out, like, ever since I've decided to do this and like do a podcast and whatnot, like my my wanting to learn and everything has increased like dramatic with almost everything.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to go to college.
Yeah.
Which I never would have thought that I would be excited to like learn or go to school. But just with how I've been taking it such interest in things and wanting to learn so much, I'm genuinely looking forward to it. And another thing is that with all that, with all these different interests that I'm taking, I learned just how ignorant I am,
Yeah.
and that's a
had
hard
that.
pill to swallow. Uh, and that's what bothers me about like small-minded folk, especially the folks around here.
Yeah.
They're just so ignorant of things, and not even like they're ignorant on political things. They're just ignorant on everything, and it's like, man, I don't want to live my life like that. I don't want to. I stick to my what I said. I think the last time, in that you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you can't figure it out. And so that's kind of the journey I'm on. I'm figuring out stuff that I don't know.
Yeah, I've definitely been in like a more creative, I wouldn't say mindset, because I'm not really creating anything. Like, I'm just trying to learn this stuff. Like, I'm trying to learn how to do clips, and then I found out, you can do these templates and stuff. So now I got to figure out like what clip to do for the certain templates and whatnot. And
Well, it's I think you're taking on the challenge of it all. And I had another thought.
I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I half the time I'd be lucky to be able to Google something right. And thank God there's YouTube, because YouTube has been a huge help with like anything I have to learn.
What's the number to call in?
Oh yeah, guys. The number is
571.
Is it 571?
No, I don't know.
27. Yeah, I don't forgot the number. Give me a second.
Oh boy.
Usually I have the number down at the screen, but with us talking to other people or whatnot, I just put like chilling with Postman or talking with whoever. But let me get the number. It's right back here. All right. So yeah, you was right. I know, guys, this is rookie mistakes. I will eventually learn. All right. So guys, the number is 571-295-6505, and you can text or call that and talk to us. It could be about anything. This is Poor Therapy, so we're just here to talk, and hopefully you get something out of it.
If anybody over there on the TikTok stream would like to call in now would be a great time. Or text. I mean, I get it. I don't really like calling people, but I'll text them.
Well, see, the thing is I get tons and tons of texts. Nobody wants to go like talk to me live or anything.
Well, why don't you?
I've had one person, and everybody else, like I always ask in the text, like, would you be interested in talking to us live? And they're always like, well, no, I don't know if I can do that. No, I'm too shy, and like, no, I don't want my business out there, and like, it's constant. So that's been the main. Like, I wouldn't think I would have this much trouble with it.
I would definitely.
But then again, like I'm also thinking like we're not that well known, so barely anybody knows about us.
I think you should be taking any like communication that you get from your audience seriously.
Well, yeah, I do.
Yeah, and but then I think you should try to work with what you got, right? And if you can't get people to come on here and talk about life and stuff like that and the problems,
Search them out, because that's what I've been doing. Like, trying to call people and be like, "Hey, you want to be on the podcast?"
No.
Oh,
Actually, like look at the text and be like, or message the people back and be like, give me like a rundown of what's going on. Like what problem are you facing, and so on and so forth. And then you can like and those can be your topics for the video.
yeah.
Like topic number 1, you can give them nicknames if you want. Like Jennifer is dealing with suicidal ideations, and you're like, this is my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
And then when people who texted you watch your stream, they're like, oh, I know that he's talking about my problem.
I haven't really had any suicidal things. I had one person text and say, "I'm gonna kill myself," and then I text them back and I was like, "Hey, please don't hurt yourself." And it was something like along that lines. I never got a text back, so
Here's
I hope you're all right. I hope you didn't do it, but yeah, I don't even know what to do if somebody does do that. I should probably figure that out.
That's yeah.
Like, I don't know if I should like go to, like a suicide hotline and be like, "Hey, this person texts me."
You keep looking at the laptop.
No, that's my main problem. But yeah, I don't know if I should just like go to like an online suicide site and be like, "Hey, this person texts me they're gonna kill themselves," and I haven't got a reply back.
What about like Omegle?
That's shut down. They
Oh.
just shut that down like last week.
Oh well, isn't there like another one like that?
I don't know. I don't use any of that stuff.
That could be a good one. Just like hook up with someone random and be like, "Hey, this is my podcast. Do you want to be on it?"
Well, the thing is all right. So on my Facebook, I joined like 30 or 40 like support groups for podcasts and stuff like that, and they actually help out a lot.
Yeah.
They have like a guest thing that like you can put in like, "Hey, does anybody want to be a guest on my podcast on this day, this time, whatever?" I was thinking about doing that, but I'm not sure yet.
Sounds like a good idea. You really have to commit though.
Well, yeah, like I can't reschedule or anything.
Yeah, you can't be like, "Oh well, my baby's sick. Sorry."
Yeah. But yeah, they have that, and I believe it's free because I think it's just like I think it's just to help both sides. To whoever calls on or gets on. Is trying to siphon from that fan base, and we're trying to siphon from this person's fan base.
Yeah, I mean it's all publicity.
Yeah, it's all just like view trades.
Yeah,
which I've been reading a lot into, and the whole headline stuff and all this crap. Like, it's so much like crap you have to learn just to be able to make a decent clip. Because I found out like clips is what brings in all the views for a podcast and crap like that. So I'm trying to learn how to do good clips.
So I've been watching YouTube now for like a long time. I'm kind of an older man, been around since it's been around, and a lot of the older YouTubers that I still watch are kind of quitting now.
Yeah.
And because they just don't want to deal with like the TikTok and clips environment, and they're just not willing to do it. So they're like, okay, like
not only that, but like apparently like the algorithm or whatever you want to call it is changed, and I've seen it a lot in the podcast support groups I'm in, like where people are like, my podcast was getting like 200,000 views and now I'm only getting like 1,000. Like something's going on. I think I'm shadow banned or like all that crap. But I mean, it's possible. I don't know. But I'm not really doing this for views. I decided early on that's not a sustainable plan. To try to make something to get famous. So my goal for this is to get better at talking and to communicate more with people. I feel like, doing this will kind of help me with those skills, because I'm not one to just go out in the public and just talk to people.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm aiming for, and that's what I'm trying to get better at.
Like my stepdad is just perfect at that. He can strike up a conversation with anybody.
Yeah, see, I can't do that.
In which, granted, like my stepdad knows pretty much everybody. Like we could go states away and he'll run into somebody that he knows. It's insane. And but like, yeah, it just any random person he could just talk to, even if he doesn't like them, he doesn't, agree with like anything that they're talking about. He'll still be nice and just talk to them.
Yeah.
And I noticed that a lot here lately, that I'm very quiet and I don't talk a lot. And like I realized it, like I noticed it today with you. That I was there would be times where like, man, it's kind of quiet right now.
The awkward moments in the garage.
Yeah. Or like while we were like chopping wood or whatever, and like I could see you were struggling to like come up with something to talk about, and I'll be like, Sean, just fucking participate,
Well,
dude.
yeah, but here's the thing, like I don't mind the awkward moments. Like you're gonna have those.
I don't mind it either, but it does drive some people, crazy.
Yeah, it does like make some people like, well, time for me to go home now.
Yeah. and like my dad is he hates like silence. Like if we take a road trip or something, he has to talk the whole time. And like he gets mad at me because I won't talk.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's not that I don't want to talk, it's just that I don't know, it just, I have the thought, it just won't come out.
Well, with me, it's like I like to think about a lot before I say something, and that's only if like I'm sober. If I'm drunk or whatever, I'll just bleh. But I don't know. With me, like I'll sit there and then I'll be like they'll be talking, and I'll be like, you know what? Should I say this? And then I'm like, nah, I'll just keep it to myself.
Oh, I have a confession. You want to talk about some deep stuff here?
All right.
Okay.
We're doing confessions, guys.
I had 4 shots of moonshine the other night.
Okay. What kind of moonshine?
Apple pie.
All right.
Apple pie cinnamon.
Okay.
And which is very abnormal for me because I don't drink.
Yeah.
And I don't drink because I don't like who I am when I'm drunk. And ever since I got married, I decided that I would go
Without drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, another reason why I get so heated when people try to give me a hard time about marijuana is like I actually enjoy who I am when I'm high, versus who I am when I'm drunk. Yeah. I don't like that person. And so, yeah, I had 4 shots of moonshine the other night, and it was just kind of out of character for me. And,
did you get drunk off of it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And I didn't get too drunk, but I got pretty tipsy. And, my wife was like, why are you doing this? Because to her, it was like, as soon as I grabbed the bottle, she was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And because she knows how serious I am about not drinking. And I was just like, I don't know. I'm feeling more off tonight, and I just need something more to help me take the edge off. And I heard those words as I said them, and I was just like, I'm not okay with that. I don't like that. I feel that I need this to be okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did it anyway. But
so I'll tell you about my drinking. I had a very short drinking career, if you would call it that. So it was the year I was working a lot. I was working a crap ton of overtime.
Okay.
I was getting gallons of Dreamsicle moonshine.
Gallons?
Yeah, I was getting gallons. I think it was like a good 4 months where every single day I got off work, I had a cup of Dreamsicle moonshine. And one day I got off work and go in the kitchen, open the fridge, and I constantly, for some reason, I was like, I had the moonshine like setting up front or whatever, and I was hungry and I was gonna get me something to eat, and I went to go and like I instantly just grabbed the moonshine, and then I was sitting there holding the moonshine when I was like thinking I was like getting to eat, and it startled me a little bit, and I was like, man, I think I'm having like kind of like a
You developing a problem?
yeah. And so I gave my moonshine away, and I decided I'm not gonna drink. I allow myself 1 day a year to drink, and the only reason that is in my family, I have a lot of alcoholics. Like
Yeah.
um,
Well, that's another reason why I wanted to steer clear of it too, is given our family's history with
yeah.
alcoholism.
So I give myself 1 year, or shit, no, not 1 year, 1 day a year. That'd be a rough year. 1 day a year to drink, and that's when we have the river closing party.
Okay.
And so at the end of the year, everybody that works at the river and everything, we go out and we get drunk, and that's just the 1 day a year that I do it. And I keep it at that because I don't want to get addicted to drinking beer, liquor. I feel like
Yeah.
that's a rough life.
Yeah, I mean, I have one friend that can talk me into drinking with him, and the wife is okay with that. That when we get together, she knows what to expect, and at least with him, I'm a pretty fun drunk. Uh, but yeah, he's probably the only one that could actually get me to rage, like
Yeah.
do a rager again.
Now, see, I'm a blackout drunk. So what that means is I drink until I'm passed out somewhere.
See, I can't black out. I think I've only blacked out one time, which I've had alcohol poisoning before, and that was miserable. And I blame you, Steven, for that. Which he got it too. We spent a 4-day weekend, the entire time completely shit faced. Like we would wake up and do shots.
Ugh.
And I mean, afterwards, for the next 2 weeks afterwards, like my bones hurt. Like,
Really?
yeah, like everything in my body was just pain.
But yeah, that was my, I don't know, what would you call that, experience with liquor. And then and I don't even know why I started it either. Like I just I was offered some, dreamsicle moonshine, and it tasted just like Kool-Aid. Like you could drink that stuff all day long. And I was like, man, this is some good stuff. And then I got me a gallon. I went through that gallon like, a cup a day. You go through a gallon pretty fast.
Yeah.
After that gallon was done, I got another gallon, and I got another gallon, and then
It just kind of kept on.
yeah, it like
Especially if you turn it into like a ritual, like if you do it like as soon as you got home or something.
yeah. Well, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I'd get home off of work, and then I'd be like, all right,
That's
let me,
I mean
let me,
that's how habits form,
yeah. That's crazy though, because that alone, if I would get addicted to drinking moonshine, whew, I don't even know where I'd be. I mean, hopefully, I would still choose the same choices and get a house and whatnot. But I mean, you never know.
Yeah. You're still looking at the computer.
I know. What I've thought about doing is when we do these things, putting like a rag or something over the computer so I can stop looking at it.
Well, you know what? You should put like once you get more officially set up or whatever, you should put like a picture of somebody behind the camera, and so you can make eye contact with that picture.
All right, yeah.
And talk to like the picture, because it's easier to look at a human's face and talk than it is that little robotic eyeball.
All right, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna order me a cardboard cutout
of Danny DeVito.
No. Well, I don't know. What actor or rock star would you
You know who my buddy has, the one that we talked about?
Who?
He has Guy Fieri.
I don't even like Guy Fieri.
He got it as a gift. It was just a joke gift, but it's in his living room, and it's wearing a oh god, not a sombrero. What is it that the Asians wear? You know what I'm talking about? They make like the cone hats.
Cone hats. I don't know.
Oh, well, I don't know what.
You want me to Google it?
What would you Google? Asian cone hat.
Well, yeah. Let me Google it.
All right.
Hopefully, we don't get put on some type of list.
Anyways, the Guy Fury
Hey,
cut out.
those
What's it called?
samurai hat, bamboo hat. It's just yeah, it's just called like it's called an Asian conceal hat. I don't know. It's one of those like samurai hats, guys.
Yeah, well, he's wearing one of those.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who's your favorite celebrity? If I was to do it, it'd either be Henry Cavill, Jennifer Lawrence, or Alan Ritson.
See, my favorite celebrity. God, I don't know, because like I try to not idolize actors and everything, but I would have to pick like the best, like the goodest or whatever.
Ooh, Robert Williams.
What about why can't I think of his name? The dude that plays off the Matrix.
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be a good one, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Just have him sitting there.
Little Neo behind it. Yeah.
But that or let's see. I gotta have a favorite somewhere. Let me think here.
I was quick with mine, man. You struggling.
I know. I don't really watch a lot of TV anymore. I know. The Iron Man guy. What's his name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I'll have him. I think he's pretty cool. But let's see. What was we talking about? I can't remember.
Oh, I have no idea.
All right. Let's see. Let's think of another topic.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm going brain dead right now.
Okay. So recently, within the last week, I got a cat.
All right.
And
I'm not really a cat person.
neither am I. I grew up with cats primarily. We didn't really have dogs, and I just kind of had my fill of it of having cats. But my wife she's been wanting a cat for years now. She's obsessed with cats, and so I told her originally that we would hold off until we got into the new house. But this cat was being bullied and it was starving. It wasn't getting to eat and stuff. And it was like skin and bone. And and like I actively saw her getting beat up by like other cats and stuff. And so I, had a soft moment and took her in. And she's doing okay. She's getting comfy really fast, but she just ain't getting along with the other girls. I have two other dogs. I have a German Shepherd named Freya and a Pit Bull Husky mix. And yes, it is as interesting as you think it is, or it looks as interesting as you think it does. Named Sansa. And they've never been around cats before, and the cats that they have been around have been outside cats that they like to chase. So having an inside cat, they're not adapting to it very well.
Yeah, so with your cat, you should definitely get it checked for that one parasite that can make your behavior change.
Yeah.
It's called you might have to help me with this. Toxoplasmosis.
Toxoplasmosis.
Yeah. So I would definitely look into that. That's one reason why I will not have a cat.
Yeah.
If I do end up getting a cat, it's going to be an outside cat, and he can eat all the mice in the field and everything. So I'm not really a cat person. I've never been a cat person, and I just at this point in my life, I don't want any more animals.
I mean, yeah, I get that. I really didn't want more than one dog, but here I am. But now I'm thinking about getting a lizard. I don't know why. I've been thinking about we grew up with lizards a lot. Yeah. And I remember my dad had his bearded dragon Aries, and I don't know. I just been thinking about him a lot. Thinking about getting one myself, but I'd get bored of it quick.
Yeah. I don't know. I went through that whole phase where I wanted snakes and spiders and lizards, and then now to me, all that just seems like extra responsibility, and I don't have the time, and I just don't want to do it. That's why, if it's up to me, no more animals. Like, we got 2 dogs, we got 2 kids, we got a horse. Yeah, I don't want any more. But I will say I've been thinking more and more about getting chickens. And only because I'm looking more into like the whole like homestead type thing. Like, if like, something happens and we can't get food at the stores, like what are you gonna do? Like,
Starve.
yeah, everybody's gonna starve. So like I would rather have like 5, 6 chickens in my backyard that I can get eggs from, and then if I have to, we're gonna eat them.
But see, I don't know, that kind of self-sustainment, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I think it'll put a target on your back. Like if you're the only person in the valley that has food.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's why you gotta have guns.
Gotta have guns. Gotta have guns.
I mean, I do believe everybody should have them because like you never know. We could be sitting here talking and somebody decides, oh, you know what? We're gonna rob this house, and we're sitting here talking, and then all of a sudden the door gets kicked in, and
it's crazy to me how aware you are of how sporadic people can be.
oh yeah,
But at the same time, you also actively want to put yourself out there and help people, right?
well, yeah, I want to try to help people.
I don't know, man. I think I'm just.
I mean, all right. So here's the thing: like, you can definitely tell somebody like if he's unhinged.
I don't think you can.
I don't know. I think I can. Like, I've seen a couple people where like,
Yeah,
I'm
but
like, all right, like I'm gonna stay clear from them. Like, they're not in the best.
well, that's fair. But sometimes those people need the most help. Look at Chris Kyle. Know who that is?
Is that the dude who shot a bunch of people? In like a riot or something?
Wow. What?
Nope.
That's very disrespectful.
Wrong guy
to that man's name. Yeah.
Well, who's all right? Let me Google him.
American Sniper.
Oh, all right. They did a movie off of him.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt played him. All right, or not Brad Pitt.
Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper. All right. Well, I ain't got to Google him then. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, so I mean, he got killed by a fellow veteran.
What is it, like a friendly fire, or
no? So after Chris Kyle's military service, I've
never watched the movie, by the way, so I don't know anything.
Okay, well, it's a fantastic movie. It's one of my favorite military movies, and I don't like military movies. But so at the end of his military career, he wanted to do more and wanted to help out his fellow veterans. And he joined this some type of society that helped like disabled vets and so on and so forth. Help them get rehabilitated into like normal life and such.
Oh, okay.
And one of the guys that he was assigned to shot him in his car, in his truck.
Yeah, that's tough.
Is that something I've heavily considered? I want to help people a lot too, and I mean it's one of the whole reasons why I joined in the military in the first place was to help people and the higher calling and so on and so forth. And so what I want to get into is helping my fellow veterans, and so when we get in the new house, that's what I plan to do. It's like I told you earlier, the only 2 things that I would really volunteer for is either Habitat for Humanity or a veteran service.
Yeah. I get the veteran service, but the Habitat for Humanity thing is kind of, I mean, you can only do so much.
Have you ever built a house with Habitat for Humanity?
No, I have not.
It's quite the experience.
Really? Have you done it?
I took part in it, yeah.
Okay. And so what exactly, like, explain that if you can?
I mean, you just help them build houses. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. Habitat for Humanity, they have stores across the nation that acts as a Goodwill. And I don't know if you've ever been in one, but they actually have not only do they have pretty decent stuff, but it's at a pretty good price. So they got like furniture, like actually good quality furniture for like super low prices and stuff. And then
Do we have one around here?
I think there's one in
Where
Harrisburg.
to Google it? It's always best to Google.
Yeah, Google has all the answers.
There we go. First thing.
You should probably just look Harrisonburg.
There's one in Luray.
Oh well.
Yeah, one in Luray.
I wonder if that's a store or just an office location.
Let me see.
Oh, it says Luray.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Luray.
Well, there you go, folks. Local folks, that is, who are probably definitely watching this. Go support your local Habitat for Humanity in Luray.
I might have to check them out. I need a suit.
I don't know if they carry clothes.
Oh, all right, never mind that.
I think that's more of a Goodwill thing. I don't know. Don't quote me on that though.
Yeah. Let's see. I was gonna say something, and then so like this new, like, I wouldn't say it's new, but like this whole new learning thing that I'm trying to get into, and I'm trying to, like, I wouldn't say manifest positivity, but like that video I sent you where it's like, trying to help your mind and like your choices and stuff. I'm trying to direct my brain towards that.
Yeah. I mean, you got to set goals.
Yeah.
And
I've been listening to like way more like positive stuff, and then, which I've been failing the last couple of days. It's this whole thing like where like you have to post one positive thing.
Yeah.
To try to like get your brain to.
Well, I mean, I don't know
about more positive and whatnot.
I don't know about like that, but so one of the things my therapist recommended was like every morning or afternoon, sometime during the day, I was supposed to look in the mirror and say 3 positive things about myself that I saw. And it sounds so cheesy. It does. It feels cheesy when you actually do it. You're standing there brushing your teeth and you're like,
look at you.
Like, all right, here we go. Oh, wow, man, you look good today. Oh, did you do something with your eyes? Like, and but I mean, at the end of the day, it is a mind over body thing, and it does work. You surround yourself with positivity, you're going to be positive. And so
yeah, but that's what I've been trying to do. I will admit the last 2 days I haven't really been doing it, which I think is because I'm just mad at myself for screwing up the last 2 episodes of the podcast.
You got to move on, man.
I know, but
go.
Like I want to, like, I think after the holidays, after I get all the Christmas crap done with, I am gonna see if I can't pay to have them cleaned up, and then use them as backup and whatnot, because I want to have more episodes in case something does happen and I can't do the podcast a week, or we have to reschedule and this and that, because I want to keep it one a week.
Yeah. Well, especially to appease the algorithm, you should definitely have a posting schedule that you should keep up with.
And that is Friday at 6 p.m. is when I'm going to be releasing. We'll either do live, or I will just release something that I've recorded from that week, or, I have as backup. And that's the plan. I mean, I'm definitely going to have to take more time and doing the clips and stuff. I want to try to have at least 3 clips per episode. But I hate going back and watching this because, like, I don't know. It's so weird. Like,
it's cringy.
Yeah, when I go back and I'm just like, I'm sitting here watching myself and like watching how I'm acting and I'm saying and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I'm just like, look at this dude. Like,
yeah. Like, this is like something to laugh at right here.
I know. And I can see why, like, people try to get other people to do it, because I don't know, it messes with you. Because, like, all right, let's say like I go back into this episode and I try to get 3 clips. Well, every time I see an episode of like, maybe I'm learning a certain way or leaning this or that, or like I say something stupid or whatever, and then I decide not to have that clip. Well, that clip could actually like been good or something. But like just because it's me and I want to try to make myself look, as good as possible and this and that, I'm gonna
critique.
Yeah.
Well, I think you should definitely try to have someone else do the clips for you then if you're struggling that much.
Well, we do have somebody that's helping us. He's backed up with work right now, so it's gonna be like a little bit before he can get to our episodes. So I'm trying to step in and figure it out. And also I want to be able to do it just in case, like, me and this guy, it doesn't end up working out or whatever. And then I'm not like screwed with not having clips or something. I just take the extra time, clip it myself, and I'll be able to do it. And the more I learn, the better it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I was gonna say. You got anything you want to add?
Not right at the moment. No, I mean I can try to come up with something.
Well, we're right at an hour, so
oh, you don't want to go till 7 o'clock?
Yeah, you know what? We'll go to 7.
Okay.
If anything, I can cut it out if we just blabber or whatever. But all right, let's see. My goals for the podcast. Get better at talking. I can slowly start, like sometimes I can watch me or whatever, and I know like, oh yeah, that's way better than what I did it before. But then other times I'm like, I'm not really, not I don't feel like I'm progressing as much as I should be.
See, I don't mind watching myself because it's like I constantly critique myself anyways. So like getting to actually see myself from a third person view, I can critique myself even more, and I like that actually. Yeah, like if I notice that I am doing certain mannerisms or something and I don't like it, then it's like, how would I have known that without watching myself?
Yeah.
And because like especially in today's time, like other people won't critique how you act or what you do.
It depends. Like, does this person have a secret Facebook account and like doesn't fear repercussions of whatever they say? I mean, because there's a lot of people like that.
That's true. I'm talking about like day-to-day life. Like,
oh, you mean like the average person looking in at themselves?
No.
All right, my bad. I went off on that.
Okay, so like, okay. In the world of the military, you have to be very cautious and careful and mindful of what you say, and that's just a requirement. So, more often than not, like your peers and underlings would never really critique something about you, because they want it to be mindful, respectful, yada
okay.
yada. And that's fine. It's fine to be respectful, but I kind of have the mindset that like if people don't know that if they're not aware that they're doing something wrong, or not even that it's wrong, but that they are doing something a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's like, if they don't know that they're doing it, how are they going to find out if you don't tell them?
Yeah, I mean, I get that. Like, my whole thing with that is nothing's perfect and everything can always be improved. So, learn whatever. It can only help you.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's see. I've keep catching myself doing is while you're talking, I'll look at the camera. I'll have something in my mind that I'm gonna say, and then like you'll be sitting there, be talking, I'll be trying to listen, and then I'll forget all about it.
Yeah,
that's another thing I need to get better at looking the camera and staying on topic. Which I'm gonna buy myself a notepad, and for each episode, like 30 to 40 minutes before we do the episode, I'm gonna come up with like bulletin points and try to stay on track of that.
Yeah. Rather than just completely spitballing like we are right now.
Yeah.
Because we are full on raw dogging this bitch.
Yeah, it'll be all right though. Because I figure, I mean, I think everybody does this. I mean, I'm not entirely sure because I don't know the ins and outs of how other people do their podcast and whatnot. I just watch or I listen to some of the shows, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if they have somebody coming in like an hour before and then like they do like a little pre-test or whatever.
Well, I mean, it depends on what level of like professionalism.
Well, I'm sure the pros do.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
people.
Like Joe Rogan, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, they probably do like test runs all day long.
Yeah.
That would be so cool to go and just talk to Joe Rogan.
That would be pretty dope. I think he's a very funny man. I haven't watched a lot of his podcasts, but I have watched his comedy specials, and I love his comedy specials.
I wouldn't even. I don't know. Like, all right, so picture like us just sitting there just talking to Joe Rogan. He's just like, like, how'd you guys come up with this idea or this or that? Like, I guess like because he's so, I guess, famous or whatever. I would kind of freak out.
Yeah,
honestly,
you think you would?
I think I would.
That's a big admittance for you.
I know because I don't really have that like
anxiety.
Yeah, but I think like since he's like so up there, yeah, I would definitely freak out. We would definitely need like 20 test runs.
Well, were you nervous when you did Aaron?
I was a little nervous. We sat outside and talked for a good bit, and that actually helped.
Yeah,
because like it made us like more formal and like talking and whatnot. And then the first 2 minutes of the podcast when we first started, like my hands were like all like sweaty, clampy. I was sweating like crazy.
You were,
I was stiff.
You were very stiff.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that you were very stiff.
And then like I said, like after 2 minutes went by, I was like, all right, like I can do this. But like the first 2 minutes were so stressful. And even when me and Blake first done this, we did a test run, and oh my god, I'll have to show people that it is horrible. All right, so when we first did it, I hit record, and then I was like, "What's up, guys? This is b-rad here." And then after that, or no, I didn't even get that far. I was like, "What's up, guys? This is blah, blah." I was like making up my own words. And
you got so nervous.
Yeah, I was making up my own words, and I was like, "What in the world is going on right now?"
Yeah. I've only felt that like very few moments throughout my life, but I know what you're talking about.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like I had that for like 30 seconds, and then I was like, I gotta pause this thing. Like I'm gonna freak out. And then I paused it, and then we did another one, and that one went way better.
Like the first time I met like a high-ranking general, I shit the bed so hard,
crumbled.
And I was just like, because this person has like so much control and power,
Rank,
yeah, and it's just like, I can't believe you're even talking to me right now. And the same thing happened where it's just like I go to talk and it's just
God, that would be cool though, to talk to somebody that high up.
Oh, what? I'm not good enough?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, just to have that chance, like. But honestly, like, then again, like, I have no idea what I would talk to him about. Like, what would somebody like that?
You want an exact example?
Yeah.
Okay. This 2-star general, which is pretty high up there. The first day, I drove him for 3 days. The first day, he didn't really talk to me. He was pretty busy, and I stayed on the.
Pretty busy. Like, was he just calling people all day?
No, like, so it's called a Surrey. The bus that I drove, it's called a Surrey, and it's like a souped up bus. It's like a pimp my ride bus kind of thing, and so like I would just take him to different spots on the base so he could talk to different people and so on and so forth. Okay. Just like meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, and showing face and talking to the lower troops and such, and but so the first day he didn't really speak to me, and then the second day I picked him up in the morning, and I like had to take him to go get breakfast and such, and he finally started talking to me. And once he found out that I was from Shenandoah, Virginia, for the next day and a half, all this man would speak to me about is the foliage in Virginia,
The
the
leaves.
leaves. I mean, I'm not kidding. He would go out of his way to talk to me about the foliage and how beautiful it was. And at first time we talked about it, I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I got something that I can connect with this guy over. But then that's all he wanted to talk about. And then, the thought crossed my mind, like, sir, there's more to me than just the foliage.
And I bet he's got like one of those trading card books, but instead of like cards, it's like different colors of leaves and different
I'd
leaves.
believe it, man. I'd believe it. The way, I mean, who talks that much about foliage? I mean, geez.
But I bet he gets all excited. Like there's like some type of tree up on the mountain, and he's like, "Oh, babe, we gotta get it there now."
He did tell me it was a yearly trip that his family makes. They go like up and down the East Coast.
Dang.
Yeah.
I bet what they do is they go on Skyline or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. He mentioned Skyline
Yeah.
specifically. I was like, oh yeah, yeah. Like that's right where I'm at.
Yeah, it's just like 10 miles that way. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. I I don't see why. I mean, I guess like city people would probably go crazy over that.
Yeah.
But since we've grown up around here and it's just normal in fall for leaves to turn colors, die, and fall to the ground and decompose. But I guess like if you're living a city life and all you really know is just buildings and cars.
Well, I mean, think of the way that you look at a city. Like, have you ever been to a highly populated city before?
Let's see.
I'm talking like one of the major cities, like Atlanta, New York.
No, I've never been there.
DC.
I mean, I've been to DC.
Have you been like in the heart of DC?
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I mean, imagine how you felt like there, and that's kind of how city people feel here.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Maybe it would be different because when I think of like how I felt the first time I went in Seattle was overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like that's my memory of it, and I couldn't picture like
living there.
Well, no, I couldn't picture like going to look at like foliage or something and being overwhelmed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My thing is like anytime I went to like DC or I had to go to Baltimore for an interview one time and had to drive through a city there, and I was like, who would want to live like this? Like it was car to car. I was stuck in traffic. I was almost late.
It's just a different kind of life, man.
And then not only that, but like I went through a McDonald's and they had boards up on it, and there was bullet holes through the glass. And I was like, what the? Like, where am I at?
It sounds like Baltimore, that's for sure.
But I mean, I guess some people get stuck in places like that, but I would not want to live in a city.
I mean, you got to think it's the same thing what you just said. We grew up around here. We're used to this. They grew up around that. They're used to that.
I just like I would like the country life more than the city life. That's just
I don't know. After living the city life for a few years, I can definitely see the appeal.
Now, what's the appeal? Like, what makes you like it more?
There's always somebody around. You get a phone call. It's a 1-800 number. Probably spam.
Yeah, it's spam. It says potential spam.
Everything you could possibly need is like a block away.
Yeah, but I would much rather drive 10 minutes down the road to get what I need than.
Let me rephrase that. Not need, want. Anything you possibly want is within like a 10-minute drive away. Versus here, anything you want, you got to drive like an hour away.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a city person.
Well,
and for one, it's too many people.
Well, that's part of the appeal too, is being surrounded by that community of people.
Do you think that like a city community, they're closer with one another than like we are with like our local community?
I don't know. I think that depends on the city. Like I think
Because that's one thing. Like I've been wanting to. I wouldn't say that's one thing I've been wanting to like get more into is like community. Because I feel like if you're in a community and everything, like trying to help people and this and that, like it's better for everybody.
I've kind of had my fill of that since being in the military life because
Yeah.
it's all about the community, right? Like the base is.
Yeah, it's one big community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, what's the phone number?
The phone number, guys, is 571-295-6505. You can text or call it, and we will talk to you. We could talk about anything, literally any topic. I've actually had a lot of people just text in like one girl text in a story about her dad, and like her dad passed away when she was like 4 or 5, so she doesn't really remember him. But later on in her life, she said she wanted to know more about him. And like, I guess from being a kid to growing up into adult, she never really wanted to know much about her dad. But then like when she was an adult, she was like, I want to know about my dad. And she found out that he worked for NASA, which I thought was pretty cool. And how she told the story, and even though it was through text, like it was insane. Like she could definitely write a book about it. And
see, that's what I'm talking about, though. You should read that and talk about that kind of stuff on the podcast.
Well, I texted and asked her if I could share it on to the podcast, and she hasn't messaged me back.
I think texting that number is approval.
You think so?
Yeah, like why would you?
Well, no, because some people have asked me not to share.
Like well, that's fine, but like,
and I respect it because I'm trying to get people to talk to me, so I'm gonna respect whatever you say. If you don't want it to be shared, then I'm not gonna share it.
I guess that's fair. Maybe I'm wrong.
But
anyways, you want to call it?
Yeah, we'll call it. Yeah, guys, I hope everybody's having a good day. Next week is Thanksgiving. I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. I'm hoping we can put out an episode next week. If not, you will be seeing this one. This is going to be a backup episode, and you'll see it when you see it.
You should probably expect a lot of the backup episodes that had me in it.
Yeah, and I'm going to have a couple other people that I'm asking as well, and we'll see how it goes. A lot of people don't want to do it, but we'll just see how it goes. But I hope everybody has a good evening, and
we'll catch you later.
Later, guys. And good.